Finally, Velena has come back to YouTube, period. I missed you guys so much. It has been 4.5 months since I uploaded. I was really uninspired with WWE and I needed to take a break just for my own mental health because they were just doing the absolute most and I was just so over it. I'm still over it in a lot of ways with the main roster, but NXT, AEW, NWA Power, there's so many more options available to get me reinvested into wrestling again, and I definitely am. I would definitely cannot wait to film more videos about other promotions as well. In this video, I am going to be mainly talking about the Royal Rumble match, my predictions for the women's and men's Royal Rumble. Before jumping into that though, it is very important that you subscribe to my channel as well as clicking the notification bell to be alerted every single time I upload a video, because YouTube doesn't always alert you every single time people upload videos these days. I don't know what's going on with the algorithm, but it's really whack. So please also follow me on social media at Twitter and Instagram at I'm Velena on Twitter and Miss Velena on Instagram. Please. You guys can totally keep up with me on there just so you know nothing's wrong. If I ever take a break again, you'll know why. Okay, one other thing. My channel is going to be doing a little bit of a rebranding moment. I am going to be focusing more so on women's wrestling on this channel. Men's wrestling is still going to be talked about and discussed, and I am going to react to some men's matches. But I feel like there needs to be a lot more focus on the women. So I definitely want to use my platform to highlight them a lot more on this channel. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to be discussing a lot of topics with men's wrestling and a lot of big feuds and storylines and any news. I'll definitely be talking about men's wrestling, but the women are definitely going to take a forefront for sure. So starting off, let's jump into my predictions for the women's Royal Rumble match. So I went on WWE.com and I looked at the active women who are able to compete in this year's Royal Rumble match. As listed, we have Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, Carmella, Sonya Deville, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Liv Morgan, Lana, Sarah Logan, Zelina Vega, and Natalya. That leaves us at 15 women able to compete in this year's Rumble. Now, with NXT being a third brand, NXT is no longer looked at as developmental. They are a huge, big brand. There's so much promotion regarding NXT. In my opinion, they are their own separate entity. They're the main roster, in my opinion. Raw and SmackDown are still having a lot of issues. But I listed my own personal choices of who I think is going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble for the NXT brands. So we have both champions definitely going to be in. We have Rhea Ripley representing NXT and definitely Kaylee Ray representing NXT UK. I love both women so much. They're both killing it on their own brands and I'm loving it. Some other women who I think are definitely going to compete in the Women's Royal Rumble for the NXT brand. We have Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, Dakota Kai, Tegan Nox, Chelsea Green, and Toni Storm. Now, every single year, there's always competitors returning from injury, and it's a really easy way for the creative team to reacclimate these superstars into a storyline for the Royal Rumble. It's just really easy for them to reacquaint them with the fans. So I definitely have Ruby Riott returning here as well as Nia Jax. Maybe Mickie James as well. That's up in the air. Let's also jump into surprises from the past. I would love to see Victoria return. I would love to see Candice Michelle return. My two mains would be Candice Michelle and Victoria to return. I love both so much. Honorable mentions I have listed here are people who I believe deserve a spot, but they haven't been showcased enough on WWE television to get a spot, although I would love it. So honorable mentions are as follows. Jinny. Absolutely love Jinny. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you'll know I am obsessed with Jinny. She's on NXT UK. She's a fashionista. She's the two-time Progress Women's Champion. She's absolutely on fire. She's killing it. I cannot wait until she gets showcased more. In my opinion, I think she's even better than NXT UK. I think that she should be on the NXT US brand because she's that damn good. I think she's much better than Toni Storm, period. I would also like to see Piper Niven, Mia Yim, Vanessa Bourne, and Shotzi Blackheart. All these women deserve a chance to be in this Royal Rumble match. These are the women who I would love to see in, but I don't necessarily think will get that opportunity this year. So, starting off, I have each category listed for you guys. So starting the Rumble off, I have Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. It's so funny because for years people have said Charlotte and Rhea are so similar. I don't see that at all. Maybe I'm blind, but I don't see it at all. The way they wrestle are completely opposite. You have Charlotte Flair being the more technical, athletic prowess about her. Then you have Rhea Ripley, who is the brawler. She will destroy any woman in her way. So they're definitely so different. But I think both of these women should start because Rhea's absolutely on fire right now. She's killing it. And Charlotte Flair is Charlotte Flair. You know, she needs no mention. She's just a legend already, in my opinion. So the dark horses for this Rumble and like the people who I would look out for, maybe not necessarily winning, but will have good showings. I have Kaylee Ray, Liv Morgan, because she's getting a push. I love that for her. Love Liv so much. Mandy Rose, as well as Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green has been killing it. She had a match against Charlotte. She fought against Natalya and Sarah Logan on main event, and now she is being represented by Robert Stone on NXT, and it's the first time in a long time where a female is being represented by a male manager. That is incredible. So Chelsea Green, the sky's the limit for her. I think she's going to have an amazing Royal Rumble showing. She better be in the Rumble for sure. The Iron Woman of the Rumble, I have Charlotte Flair. I have her coming in as number 1. I definitely think she's going to acquire some sort of accolade in this Rumble for sure. Most eliminations is going to go to Rhea Ripley, definitely. The final 4 of the Royal Rumble, I have Charlotte Flair, Shayna Baszler, Sasha Banks, and Ronda Rousey being the number 30 entrant. I definitely see the 2 of the 4 horsewomen each will be in the final 4 of the Royal Rumble. You have Charlotte Flair and Sasha on one side and Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. Now, the winner of the Royal Rumble, in my opinion, this is not necessarily who I want, but who I realistically think, Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler will eliminate Sasha, and you'll have Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair going at it. Shayna eliminates both. Shayna goes on to face Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. I think Shayna's gonna win because I feel like she's done all she could possibly do in NXT. She killed it in NXT. I'm not the biggest fan of her in-ring work. She is a lot older, and I'm not shaming her for that. I think that's quite inspiring for anybody that's a little bit older who wants to get into the industry. But the way she wrestles is very like slow and methodical, and I just kind of don't really like that type of wrestling. Even though she is a good worker, she is better than Ronda in my opinion. She's just being talked about all over the place, so I think it's only natural for Shayna Baszler to win the Royal Rumble here. So Shayna is my pick. Not necessarily who I want. I would definitely go with... Honestly, I'd give it to Mandy Rose. I love Mandy Rose. I think Mandy should win. She's not going to win, but that's who I would love to see win. Liv Morgan would be another one. Hell, even Kaylee Ray. I would love to see Kaylee Ray win because Kaylee Ray went on an interview and said she would love to face Becky. That would be everything. The powers that be will not allow that to happen, even though it should happen. That would be everything. So let me know who you guys think is going to win the Women's Royal Rumble down below. I'm curious to see who you guys think. Now, jumping into the Men's Royal Rumble. This is where I'm gonna go off a little bit. Brock Lesnar is entering number 1. So we all know Brock Lesnar is going to dominate probably half of the Rumble, which pisses me off because the Rumble, it's just so annoying because the Royal Rumble is known to like elevate stars and like give people a spotlight, and I just feel like he's just gonna totally snatch that away from a lot of the male talent in like the first half of the Rumble, which pisses me off. So I think it's gonna, you know, a guy's gonna come out, he's gonna eliminate every freaking 5 seconds basically. And I hate that. I really, really hate that so much. That's definitely ultimately my biggest pet peeve with the Men's Royal Rumble match is that we all know Brock Lesnar is gonna dominate half of it at least. I definitely see Cain Velasquez being a surprise entrant and eliminating Brock Lesnar. Now, there's so much speculation circulating online about Edge returning. All I can say is that Edge is my favorite wrestler of all time, so I think you guys know that if you've been watching me for a long time. If Edge returns while I'm filming my reaction, I will legitimately start crying all over the place. Edge is the reason why I'm totally involved in this industry right now, because he, to me, is the personification of the perfect wrestler. He has the looks, has the mic ability. He could play a heel or a face perfectly. That, to me, is a wrestler. You know, he definitely lived his gimmick, the rated R superstar, outside of the industry. And I just love a wrestler like that. That, to me, is a classic wrestler, and I think it's honestly like a lost art form. You know, I think social media has kind of ruined a lot of gimmicks and stuff like that. But that's another topic. I think if Edge returns, I will literally lose my ish because I love him. I love Edge so freaking much. Gosh, he totally looks to be in shape. If you look at his Instagram, he's killing it. He looks incredible. If Edge returns, oh my God, I would love to see Edge win the Rumble. Oh my God. I would live. I would live. I think Edge, if in, I think he would definitely be a later entrant, like maybe 28, 29, 30. A lot of people were asking me to talk about CM Punk. Now, at one point, I absolutely stand CM Punk. I loved him so much. His pipe bomb promo is one of the reasons why I kind of like got back into wrestling in 2011. I definitely think that Punk added something unique to the industry back then. I don't know. I don't really like him anymore. I feel like money will change people, and the fact that he's kind of partnered with Fox to do like WWE Backstage, I feel like there's like a hidden agenda behind closed doors. I think that Punk is going where the money is. Now, a part of me, I can't blame him. You know, you gotta go where the money is. I get it. But it's like you crapped all over WWE and now you're kind of back with them. Like, you look like a damn fool. So, and I don't care what anyone says. They could say, oh, well, he signed to Fox. Y'all, let's be honest. I'm sure he's got a deal under the table with WWE. You know, so regardless, he's paid to be edgy on the Backstage show or whatever. I've seen a couple of episodes here and there. But realistically, if CM Punk returned, I feel like that would just defeat all of his credibility because he talks so badly about them and now he's back. Like, come on, dude. I don't really like Punk as much anymore for that reason. I think that he was an okay wrestler. Definitely not like the best in the world or anything like that. I think Edge is much better. I'm just talking about both of them because both are highly rumored to return during the Rumble. I definitely don't see Punk winning the Rumble. I think he would only come in as like for a shock value purpose. That's definitely reaction worthy in my opinion, for sure. That'd be cool, but it's not like, I don't know. I just feel like he talked way too much crap about professional wrestling and now he wants to jump back into the pool. Come on. So, oh yeah, because you flopped in UFC. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I give him a lot of credit for going and trying his hand at UFC, but to jump back with WWE when you literally badmouthed them so badly, very hypocritical, but then again, money talks. So I would love to see Edge more so than CM Punk because it's personal. I love Edge so much more. Who I think is going to be like the wild card of the Rumble, having like the best showing, I say Andrade, who I absolutely love, absolutely killing it, as well as John Morrison. I think both men are going to last very long in the Rumble match. I think Brock Lesnar, unfortunately, is going to have the most eliminations. I think he's going to dominate the first half of the Rumble. I hate to admit that. I hate when wrestlers do that. It just ruins the Rumble for me. Who I want to win the Royal Rumble match? I gotta give it to Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, long overdue. He deserves this more than anyone right now. Do I think that they're gonna finally pull the trigger and give it to McIntyre? Probably not, because all they do is they push a guy and they reel him back. They'll push him and reel him back. So I just don't know what they're thinking when they do this. It's just very strange. It's like if you get over organically like Rusev and Elias, you get buried constantly. I don't understand. I think Corbin will also have a good showing, even though I despise him. He'll have a good showing. Elias, I think, will have a decent showing. Rusev will definitely have a decent showing. Lashley, you know, anybody that's in kind of like a decent feud right now, I think they'll have decent showings in the Rumble. I definitely see Rusev and Lashley eliminating each other. You know, the classic heel face kind of rivalry when they deal with it in a Rumble. They'll eliminate each other and maybe it'll go on to Mania. I would love for Elias to have an amazing showing. NXT guys who I think will be in the Rumble. Definitely Adam Cole for sure. Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, I would say. Damian Priest, Tommaso Ciampa, definitely. Finn Balor. Matt Riddle, definitely. There's been speculation where people were asking me if I think Matt Riddle will be the one to throw out Lesnar. That would be really cool. Maybe it's a possibility, but I could definitely see Cain Velasquez being the one to do it, furthering a WrestleMania storyline, even though nobody wants that. Whoever eliminates Brock is definitely setting up his WrestleMania match, but I could definitely see all of that happening for sure. Who I ultimately want to win the Rumble is Drew McIntyre, hands down. He is my number one pick. That is who I'm going with. Drew McIntyre has been long overdue for this. You know, he got called up 2 years ago. It's 2 years and they still haven't pushed him to the best of his ability. What are they waiting for? Stop teasing us. You know, they'll push him and then pull him back. No, he deserves to be the champion. He deserves to win. I would love for him to defeat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. That'd be everything. I definitely think they'll probably give it to Roman Reigns. That's not who I want to win, but it's ignorant of us to think that Roman's going to be out of the title picture forever because he is very young still. He's only 34 years old. They're going to push him. They're going to re-acclimate him into the title picture soon. Let's be honest. Yeah, so those are my predictions for the Royal Rumble. I think you guys should keep your eyes out for John Morrison, Andrade, Buddy Murphy, Aleister Black, and Elias in this Rumble. I don't think any of them are going to win, but I think all of them will have at least 25 minutes in the Rumble match, with Drew McIntyre winning the Royal Rumble. That's ultimately the goal here. Realistically, gotta go to Roman Reigns. Ugh. All right, guys, so let me know down below what you think. Who do you think is going to win the Women's Royal Rumble? Who do you think is going to win the Men's Royal Rumble? What do you think about Brock Lesnar? What do you think about my theory of Lesnar dominating the first half of the Rumble, which I think is going to happen. All right, guys. Until next time, subscribe to my channel. I'll be back soon with more videos. And follow me on social media at I'm Valena on Twitter and Miss Valena on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back soon. Love you. Bye.